How's it going, guys? So we got something new on the desk that just got here, and it's Ride or Die's new brake set, I do believe. So it looks like, I'm thinking we got front and rear brakes. We got 2 individual boxes, so let's go ahead and bust into it and see what we got. Looks like we got black rotor bolts in there and some screws. Beefy big rotor compared to the normal ones we got before. And of course, we got a brake. So right off the bat, I can tell this lever looks like it's smaller than the other ones, which of course is going to fit our razors better. Looks like a little bit different setup as well, so that's pretty interesting. We're going to go ahead and pop these on. And last in here, it looks like we got a strap to help hold our brake line, which is awesome. Instead of zip ties, that's going to look way cleaner. And it looks like we got a bracket, so I'm assuming we're going to put this bracket onto this caliper. Now it looks like we got the same thing going on for the front brake in here. So of course, if you guys ride tiny electric dirt bikes, go get yourself a shirt from them as well. These things are awesome. I get compliments all the time on it. Now guys, I do want to reference the difference inside. This is a double piston zoom caliper. So we can see, I mean, there's not really much comparison to be had here. We can just see the size is, you know, incredibly different. Where, you know, this is, maybe get my hand around it. So these are some big beefy brakes. I know it is a 1-cylinder in there, but it is huge. So this is going to be on the outside of it, going over the top of that. Make sure this is all pointed out the right way here. And I think we're going to go ahead and screw that bracket down. And just like that, we got this puppy on here. Alright, so one main key point we want to pay attention to is this bolt is going to come through the back, kind of the opposite as we're used to it going. So this is going to come through the back, and then everything is going to kind of go onto there. So this actually needs to be here first, and then through the back. So this is on the inside of here. You're going to have a very tight gap between your nut and your rotor, but that's kind of all you get because it's a Razor. Another key point is you're going to have a little bit of play in this. So when you go tighten this all down, pull up, get the most out of this you can this way. Always try to get the most away pulled from you can. You'll feel it seat. Alright, so only right before we're ready to actually install the wheel back on, we're going to pull this little clip out. But first we want to try to pull out this piece that's wedged in here. It just fell out. So we'll go ahead and get this out, and then we'll get this out so that we're not putting pressure on that brake. Of course, have our new rotor on, so we'll go ahead and try to slip this in. Sometimes if you guys have your rotor, it feels like it could be a little too close. I like to have the washer on the inside. It gives me just a little more space to align the rotor better sometimes. Alright, so for the front, we got our little set here. It comes with bolts. Now there's a few different sizes. Don't pick the too long ones. Make sure it's catching, but make sure it's not going through into the rotor. And my trick to getting it on with RSF wheels is I leave this rotor like loose, and that pretty much allows me to be able to barely slip this thing on with it getting in pretty much right along the rim. So it's a tight squeeze, but right there it slips in, and then it slips up into there. And then I slowly just tighten each rotor bolt up through this slot down at the bottom once I get this brake on. So they give you some different options with some washers and different bolts and sizes. So I'm seeing on their Ride or Die forks that I have, it looks like the shortest ones are pretty much working out. I have had to use to where there's a medium one, and I had to use the washer spacer. The main thing is you want to make sure the screw's not hitting the rotor at all, because obviously that's bad. So it will go through, but you can tell we're not hitting the rotor there. Now main thing is do not forget to loosen these up that you left loose to get that on. So we'll tighten that up. Alright, there you have it. So always remember, you're going to have to pump your brakes up after you get that on a little bit, and you know, use these with ease. Don't just go out there and expect them to like work 100%. Break them in a little bit and everything. So I have put some miles on these brakes at the point of this video coming out. They're actually a little more touchy than their last option was, which is great for wheelies. I'm starting to get a lot more tricks, and it's actually using these brakes, which is great to see. A lot more heat distribution on that bigger caliber, so less chance of brake fade and just overheating those pads and just wearing them down in general. So looking at the difference in the brake pads, we can see a massive difference looking at the Zoom brake pads compared to the Ride or Die brake pads. These are from the 2-piston Zooms that we're used to seeing on the Razors, but now this is just a significant difference on the size for heat distribution, and just in general having a better space to grab. Of course, the rotors are also thicker and 180 millimeters instead of 160 like the Zooms, so you're actually getting more surface of grabbing, and bigger rotors as well as thicker rotors. So all good things to see there. And with this brake option, you'll actually have a switch that's on here, and if you have the EMF 12 volt system, you'll have a working brake light if you buy the right wires and tail light harness. Now they do actually sell these brakes separately, so you can buy just the rear or just the front, which is a great option. Someone like me sometimes only buys the rear because I'm concerned about having the stopping power in the back when I have the front wheel in the air. So not only do these brakes look good, but they feel good and function good. Their stopping power seems great. I'm actually pretty impressed with them. They feel like I can use one finger while I'm still running my wheelies and doing stuff. Again, I am a full-grown man. Let's see what some of you guys think down below in the comments that have them. So guys, don't forget that Ride or Die did give us a 10% discount code that we can use on their website for their forks and their brakes as well, which is awesome. Thank you guys for that. And of course, if you haven't checked their forks out, check out their forks. We've been running them as well. They have great affordability as well as great quality. They're just good quality triple clamps. I trust them more than a lot of other ones out there. So Ride or Die just released their new premium forks for those who want a little bit extra. So the clamps on the new premium are gonna be CNC'd aluminum, which are gonna be much, much stronger than the original die-cast ones, which I think are pretty strong. And instead of being 45-45, they're gonna be 45-48 millimeters. Now, if you pick the P-type, it's gonna be double dampening, so it's gonna give you a much smoother ride. Hopefully we can get our hands on some soon enough to kind of look at the differences. All right, so everyone stay safe out there. Like I said, always test your brakes accordingly. Don't go drop it back to 12 o'clock doing a wheelie right off the bat. Feel those brakes out, make sure there's nothing wrong from the factory, anything weird that got installed incorrectly, or anything like that, and you want to kind of wear those pads in a little bit as well as the compression on those. So easier way in with any brakes on anything in general, and we'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully you enjoy. Peace.